Conor Benn has betrayed Eddie Hearn. It's a big word, but quite frankly, that is what has happened. Conor Benn has betrayed Eddie Hearn. Like, I actually feel bad for Eddie Hearn here, even though ever since the whole situation with Conor Benn, which he guided and helped him through for God knows how long, then Conor Benn has just gone on and betrayed him completely. Conor Benn has signed with Zuffa Boxing, Dana White, and Turki Al-Sheikh. Apparently, it's a one-fight deal, but apparently it's an eight-figure. Apparently, it's an eight-figure contract. So again, the money-wise, it makes sense. But I think the massive scumbag move here from Conor Benn is Eddie Hearn revealed in an interview that he found out the news that Conor Benn was leaving Matchroom to go on and pursue this deal with Zuffa Boxing through Conor Benn's lawyer. So there was no talk or any communication through Conor Benn himself saying, oh, yeah, Eddie, I reckon there's a big deal with eight figures over in Zuffa Boxing that they're offering me for a one-fight deal. I think it makes sense that we take this, and Eddie Hearn probably, I don't know, probably would have said, fine, eight-figure deal, good for his career. Then he eventually crawls back to him. But the fact that Eddie Hearn has to find out through Conor Benn's lawyer, who he's also who it seems like Conor Benn hides behind he's a lawyer, but he hides behind him and just worms around him for absolutely everything. Let's be completely honest with, it just seems that way. It just seems that way. I feel like it's very, very, very poor from Conor Benn. Very poor the way he's left Eddie Hearn out to dry like this, to be honest, and that this is how Eddie Hearn's had to find out an email from Conor Benn's lawyer. No actual contact from Conor Benn whatsoever. Conor Benn put out a statement about Eddie Hearn on social media. But from what we know right now, nothing is actually personally being said between Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn on the fact that this deal has happened. It's shocking to me. It is proper crazy to me, in my opinion. The fact that Conor Benn has actually treated Eddie Hearn like this when Eddie Hearn helped him through absolutely everything. And what I hope now is hopefully Eddie Hearn exposes the truth, because we know what we've been told isn't the truth. So let's hope that Eddie Hearn actually comes out and exposes the truth now. And because that would certainly make things very interesting to see what may have actually happened with Conor Benn and his failed drug test. But the reality is here, Conor Benn has betrayed Eddie Hearn. And it is not a good look whatsoever. He's already a massive stains on his career already. I wouldn't say this is a stain on his career. It makes sense financial wise, but I just feel like the main problem is the way he's actually treated Eddie Hearn, when Eddie Hearn helped him through thick and thin for years, really. Let's be honest. Without Eddie Hearn, Conor Benn would be out of boxing right now after that failed drug test. Without Eddie Hearn, Conor Benn would be absolutely done. He would be done. Opportunities would be done. It would be all over for Conor Benn. And Eddie Hearn has helped him through it massively. Got him 2 stadium fights against Eubank Jr. Managed to, still put the weight clauses on Eubank Jr. Look at the deals that Eddie Hearn's been able to get Conor Benn. Look at how he has saved his career, basically. Eddie Hearn literally has saved Conor Benn's career. And then he finds out through his lawyer, through Conor Benn's lawyer, that he wants nothing to do with him anymore, basically. I don't get why. I don't get what would be so hard about discussing it through with Eddie Hearn, and then you get the lawyer to sort of stuff. Surely it's not that hard. In my opinion, it's shockingly bad. It's a proper scumbag move from Conor Benn, in my opinion. Not the fact that he's left, but just the way he's gone about it and treated Eddie Hearn around it all. But yeah, look, Conor Benn signing for Zuffa Boxing. We'll talk a bit about that. Yeah, I think financial wise it makes sense. You know, who's going to turn down 8 figures at the end of the day? I don't blame him at all. Sorry. But I think it'd be interesting to see who he's against. It'd be interesting to see the kind of the magnitude of the event that Conor Benn would be on, because the events we got so far from Zuffer Boxing have been. I mean, you know, we've had some good fights, but the events themselves, you know, atmosphere wise, been absolutely dreadful. You know, hopefully he's not fighting the bloody Apex. Not surely not, but you know, it must be a big fight. 8 figures, Tariq Al-Sheikh involved. I mean, hopefully they're doing Saudi or something. You'd, you know, you'd hope, because that's where we will get a big card with big fights on it. I think it's a massive for Zuffer Boxing, especially if they can keep hold of him as well. So far as we know, it's only a one fight deal. So who knows what will happen after this? I don't know. Is it a world title fight they're going to get him? Are they going to get Conor Benn a world title fight here? 8th. It's really intriguing to see what might happen now. It is. I do wonder. I do wonder what might happen now, because there's no set opponent in my head of who this could be. I don't know if we're going to see something very soon on another signing in Zuffer Boxing at welterweight, because then you know, that'd be the idea of who it will be. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with it. Like, because it seems like Zuffer Boxing is one big corporation. I don't know if they are going to be linking up with any other. If they are like, get it, like, for example, would they match Conor Benn and they get the boots? I mean, it's not going to happen next, but would they, for example? I don't know. I still don't know the whole landscape with Zuffer Boxing right now. But anyway, Conor Benn, massive, massive, massive signing for them.